Yeah. Hey. Sorry, y'all, I'm late. Cooked a big dinner and had family over. But anyway, how are y'all doing? God bless you. Thank you, God. Let me give God his props. The God of my understanding. Thank you, God, for allowing us to get our lives together one day at a time. Thank you for putting people in our lives to help our lives a little bit more easier. Thank all the recovering addicts all over the world that decided that they wanted to truly live and work a program to benefit themselves and to become a better person and to live a better and productive life. God, I thank you. I thank you, God, for just being you. I thank you for showing us things. I thank you for letting us know things. I thank you for introducing us to different people in our lives. But God, I just thank you. Thank you, God. My God. Hey, y'all. How you doing? I wanted to give a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program for all that it does to help another individual get their lives together. And I also wanted to say to anybody who's celebrating clean time, whether it's just for today. Hey, Laquita. I see my sister Evangelist Selena is on here. Y'all want some spiritual feeding? Just go Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. I get my feeding from her and my bread from her for the spiritual that needs fed. Sometimes my spiritual soul need fed. Okay. Thank y'all. Give a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. I thank God for being who he is to us and allowing us to come into a new journey in our lives. I thank him so much. Today we on step 2. I had put the wrong step in, so I had to go in and change it. But today we are on step 2. And it says, we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And what I wanted to say is, what I really wanted to say today is that people think when we get on drugs, it's all about just the drugs. Yeah, we have to stop using drugs. But really what it is that it's an addiction. We know it's an addiction. But we also have to know, that the addiction is that chemical dependency that we put in our bodies, and it give us the craving and the urges to want to use. But I had to learn how that it wasn't just about the drug. It just wasn't about the drug. It was about my behavior. It's about my attitude, and I needed to stop using so I could get my life back together, so we could get our lives back together, and once you stop using just for that day, for that one day, if you don't use, that's a blessing. So you go on to the next day. But here it says we come to believe. Step 2 is a good one. It opened some doors for me that I decided not to admit or surrender. I didn't want to do none of that. But I found a place in my life where I needed some help. I really needed to find myself and see the reason why I do the things that I did, and the reason why I caused harm and I caused a lot of things that I did to myself. It says we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves. Now it says we come to believe. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves. Okay, who is it than ourselves? Well, mine is the God of my understanding. And I had to do some things that I wasn't used to doing. I had to learn how to tell the truth and submit and surrender to God. that I didn't want to use. I've been using, I've been going back and forth, battling back and forth. But when we get to a point in our life, you know, that that rush that we get off of drugs ain't going to be enough to take away the pain, because the pain's still going to be there once we stop using. And once I figured that out, every time I got to using, and when I woke up, the pain was still there. All I did was just kind of revived it, and then use, and then I woke up to reality that is still there. It's that we came. So I had to call on God. I had to just submit. I had to surrender, and I didn't know how to surrender. I didn't know how to, not make him a promise and break it. So I had to learn how to use these steps. I had to learn how to put the God of my understanding in these steps, which it still is. But I had to figure that out. Everybody has to work. Hey, Cynthia, I see my friend Cynthia is here. Thank you. God bless you. Hey, Charlotte, how you doing, baby? So I had to come to a realization. I had to come to a thing in my life that I'm in trouble. Hey, I'm in trouble because I'm messing up. I'm just doing some things that's not not good in my life, and it says I had to believe, when you hit bottom, and when you going through things, and when you've been used to having something, now you ain't got it no more. And one thing I had that I didn't have no more, and that was that peace of mind. When we lose that peace of mind, when we started thinking that we got everything going on, see, the disease of an addiction would trick you. That's why they say all the time that you have to remember it's cunning and it's baffling. And I didn't understand that when I first came into treatment, cunning and baffling. How can something be cunning and baffling? Okay, it works on the mind. The disease of an addiction you put in your body, and the chemicals want you to believe that you will still be okay if you keep using. You still will find your way, but that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. So when I came to believe, it says we came to believe. How did I come to that point? I came to that point for being honest. I came to that point for just looking at my life for what it is. And my life wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I was living a lie every day. Wake up, living a lie. Go to bed, living a lie. And then, I lost. We lose ourselves. We lose ourselves to the addiction. We let the addiction take over our whole lives. And it becomes our best friend because we give it so much props. Because we use it, and we give the drugs, all of us. So when I came to believe, I was ready. I wasn't entirely ready, but I was ready to do something because I had been doing nothing. So I had to come to believe that it is a God. I know it's a God because, the prayers that I used to ask him and the things that I used to ask him, he gave it to me. And he wasn't the type of person that I asked God to restore this mind of mine. My mind is in need to be restored, God, because the way I'm going now is death. The way I see now, one of my friends, it seems like everybody that I once used to go with or once knew or still know dies in this horrible thing of using drugs. And, you use drugs, what do you expect? You drink alcohol, what do you expect? The thing ain't gonna keep, the drugs and alcohol is only to make us feel good in that moment and in that situation, in that time in our life. But it don't tell you about the harm it does to the mind and to the body and to our lives. So when I came to believe that he power greater than ourselves, I always knew about God. Come on now. I was raised up with God. In our house, we would serve to God. In our house, we would ask God to keep us and continue to, so we knew about God. But And sometimes in our life when we are kids growing up, we hear about God and all this and what God can do. But until something come into our life that's detrimental to us and you know, when we seem like everything done failed, when we seem like nothing is working, when we seem like, you know, when it seemed like that we can't, you shouldn't have gave her a big piece of cornbread that big, cut it in half. Yeah, and so excuse me, y'all. I got the wrong person fixing plates. So I thank God that when I come to believe, I went through some changes, y'all. And I don't know about you all. I don't know about you all if y'all went through some changes, but I went through some changes because I didn't know how to surrender. I knew about God, but I hadn't made him my all yet. I always been close to him. I always talked to him, but I was battling for back and forth. Do he really hear me? And I knew then when I come to believe in a power greater than myself, you know, I knew it had to be somebody. I knew it had to be somebody because he would talk to me all the time. Tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me when you need to do this, when that. But I didn't listen because I was hard-headed. You know, most addicts are hard-headed, don't we? We have to bump our head and fall down to the bottom and not understand and pretend that we don't hear him and pretend that we got it like that, but really we don't. Really, we don't. We think our lives is in orders because of, you know, we ain't hit bottom yet or, you know, things happen. But I knew when I came to believe that a power, he was greater than me. God is the one who woke me up this morning. God is the one that allowed me to lay down. So I knew it was a God greater than myself. You know, I knew that. Didn't nobody have to tell me that. I didn't even have to read that in the book. But I had to believe it. I had to believe it and receive it. And once I believed it and received it, that was the key. That right there within itself was the key. I always knew about God. I always knew about this magnificent man that can heal the body, that can fix a broken heart, that can do the impossible. Now, I heard all this, but until I started believing what I was feeling and seeing all at the same time, I didn't address that yet. But honey, when I hit rock bottom and everything was going wrong in my life, you know, my health was falling. I'm just speaking about me, but this applies to you too, because you can't tell me doing drugs didn't cause you no body harm, or can't tell me you didn't cause you no mental harm. You can't tell me it didn't cause you no stress. You can't tell me it didn't cause you no anxiety. So when you telling me that, see, the drug not just do one thing, it just don't get us high. It demeanors anything that we want to do good in our life. It removes it. It takes it away. We become somebody else. You know, we start holding resentment. We start hating people. We start having joy in our life. You know, our peace of mind ain't right. You know, the depression is not, you know, and everything that I'm talking about, I had it. I can only tell you what I experienced. So we came to believe. I'm speak for me. We did come to believe. Because if we didn't come to believe, guess what? First of all, we would still be getting high. First of all, we did something magnificent. We learned how to believe in a power greater than ourselves. And he was going to do something magnificent for us. He was going to start restoring us to some sanity. Everything that we thought was impossible was possible. Everything that we thought was impossible was possible. And I had to learn that. That's why I love this step. We come to believe. People can talk about God all they want to, but if you don't live it, if you don't understand him, if you don't go by what he's telling you to do in your life, then you ain't came to believe nothing. You still holding on your self-will. So I had to learn how to let go of my self-will. That let me know right then, when I let go of my self-will, that let me know right then I was beginning to believe that a power greater than me is doing something in my life that I couldn't do for myself. And I know he's there for me. I know he's there for you. He's there for everybody. People's all over the world. I forgot to get a shout out to all the struggling ones that are still struggling. May God continue to bless you. Come on in. You never alone. Come on in. You ain't never alone. Come on in. We unity family. You ain't by yourself. You know, it's many millions of people just like me and you. Come on in. Stop playing games. You know, stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Come on in. Because once you start to believe that a power greater than yourself can restore you to sanity, you got it. You're on your way. You made a sacrifice for God to come into your life and to help you restore everything that you had lost. You know, so I came to a part in my life to where when I was working these steps, man, I literally cried when I realized that I had did something that I thought I could never do. Was to be honest. Was to really be honest and uncover all the sheets that I had laying over me. I had to uncover it. I had to uncover the things that I needed to uncover. My life was shattered. Started using drugs and alcohol. That demon got in me, and I did some of everything. But it says we came to believe. That's when I knew I was working on something. I had came to believe. I knew it was possible. I knew I had a friend. I knew I had a person that helped created me, who know all about me. He know every tear that falls on my face. He know how many pieces of hairs is on my head. I had started believing, and once you started believing in your high power, once you start believing, something happens. A miracle happens. You start to surrender a little bit at a time. You ain't gonna do it all at one time. So don't let nobody tell you are, because you ain't. You're going to do it a little bit at a time. And as you do it, you're going to realize something been missing all your life. That was that connection. That was that understanding. That was that belief. See, it says we came to believe. We knew things. Hey, cousin Cynthia. How you doing, honey? Thought you would come by today. Dinner day. I left you a message. But anyway, we come to believe. And once I became to believe, guess what? My whole way of thinking changed. Man, everything that I thought I couldn't do. You know, when I come to believe in a greater than when I came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me, once I realized what I was believing in, I promise you I made it possible. I started getting up, man. I started going over my list. I started wanting to know myself, why did I believe in a power greater than myself could do some things for me? Yeah, and I had to look at that. We have to look at that. We have to look, why do you think that a power greater than yourself can restore us to sanity? Because I'm not in the mess no more. I'm not using no more. I ain't stealing no more. I ain't lying no more. I'm not a dressed up lie no more. You know, I'm not wearing all the masses so you can't see what's up underneath. I learned how to love the person that I was hurting. That was me. And until you learn that about you, if you become what everybody think you should be or what you should do, then you ain't living for yourself. You're not living for yourself. When you start nurturing everybody, pacifying them, or buying them, or wanting to keep them and want them to love us, see, that should come genuine. But I know a man. Let me tell you about this man. I know a man that I had surrendered to, the man that I had asked to restore some sanity to me. I know a man, I didn't have to do nothing but keep it simple. I didn't have to falsify. I didn't have to lie. I didn't have to imitate. I didn't have to do nothing. God accepted me just like I was. He the one that opened the doors for me to study these 12 steps and get to know who I am. And once you start knowing who you are, then you can believe that a God, that a power greater than yourself can do something for you. And he's the head of my life. He should be the head of your life. If you think you don't need him, if you think you don't want him, if you think you can't find him, stop lying to yourself. Because the same way he do me, he could do you. He just needs you to open up. He just needs you to stop lying. He just needs you to stop hiding. Y'all was me. Don't look at me like y'all think y'all wasn't me. Y'all was me too at one point in time in y'all life. And addiction don't mean that you had to drink or do drugs. That means your addiction could have been lying. Your addiction could have been stealing, gambling. Your addiction could be many things. Your addiction could be just like my addiction was. I wanted somebody else's husband. I had a problem with detachment. I had a detachment addiction. And I always wonder why, I always wonder why that I can get a man. That wasn't no problem. The problem was I couldn't keep her. The problem was I couldn't keep her. Because I made things impossible, because I had an addiction dealing with detachments. I didn't want to stay with you too long. I had to detach in some kind of way, because that's been that's been one of my addictions. And once I realized, I started opening up about some things. And I'm telling each and every last one of y'all, don't let people put you in a place that you don't belong. Don't let people, I used to hear people saying, Renee, you done got clean now. You boisterous, you speak your mind. And sometimes, I don't like you. I had one girl to tell me, I don't like you because you changed when you stopped getting high. I said, wasn't that the point? Wasn't that the point? I was supposed to make a change when I got clean. That was the point. The point mean I can't let you just do what you want to me and use me. The point of these steps is to see a change in our lives. We ain't supposed to stay the same. Anybody who stay the same, anybody who's still stealing and lying and manipulating and caretaking and anybody who's still doing the things that they used to do, you didn't change. You put a label on it. You saying I'm recovered. You put a label on it. But have you worked the change that God put in you? Because it says, when a power greater than ourselves could restore us. So he telling you, if I'm finna restore you, that means you finna get away from the old wicked ways and the old ways. I'm finna restore you with something better and bigger and good. That's what that means, to restore us to some sanity. Because we were gone. I know I was. I don't even need nobody to tell me. I don't need nobody to tell me that I wasn't. Because I can't tell y'all everything that I did. I can't tell y'all, girl, I cannot do that. Because y'all would be sitting up here looking at me like I'm crazy. I give y'all enough. But I wasn't nothing nice. I thank God for the change. I thank God for restoring me to some sanity, to where I can always think positive now instead of negative. Or I can always not pretend. See, I used to have a problem when we were coming to recovery and I got clean. I still had a problem in trying to hide, trying to act like everything is okay, but it's really not. But I couldn't let you see. So then I realized, Renee, you ain't working the program, because you don't have to hide anything. It's only for you to be yourself. That's what the restore to sanity means. Yes. To give you back your life, to give you back a life better than what you had. Give me a life better than what I had, because what I had, I messed up. And what I lost was me. And when you start losing you in little bitty pieces, and before you know it, you done lost a whole great big old piece. So I thank God for that. I thank God for allowing me to learn about restoring, how God can restore us. He can restore us to something even better than we think, because he restored me to where sometimes I have to pinch myself to see if it's really real. God, I made it through that. Man, God, I didn't have to use. I was so used to using and drinking when somebody hurt my feelings or the relationship didn't work. So God, that means that you still working on me. God, you still restoring me, because I don't think like I used to. I don't hold things like I used to. I don't drink no more. I don't get high. I don't smoke the little funny stick. I don't do nothing. Like my daughter say, funny stick and say, and give a congratulations to her, because she done stopped smoking. So I really thank God for that. For Felicia, she's going on her 4th week and for stop smoking weed. And and the reason I said to my daughter, she one of the ones, me and her just bump heads all the time, but since me and her talk, we both was holding on to something. Well, she was holding on to something. I let it go long time ago. Because, see, when you get clean, you can't hold on to stuff, the wreckage of your past. You got to let the wreckage of your past be the past and work on what's important in the present. And in the present was for him to restore me to some sanity, to where I wouldn't have to look back and try to figure out and remember everything that I done, everything that I lost, everything I couldn't understand. When he said restore, he restored me to something great, something better, something good. And so I had to learn that. I had to learn that God is who he is. And I had to learn that sometimes when trouble don't last always. Now that I found out. I found that because where I used to get in trouble, used to do things, and then I would drink and get high because I didn't want to deal with it. See, now I can't drink and get high because he had restored me to some sanity. So now I can use my mind for what it was for, to do the right thing, to think different. I give a shout out to anybody that's been struggling with drugs, that's clean. If it's just one day, that one day should mean something different, because that one day you didn't pick up. And if you didn't pick up in for one day, then that means you can go to the next day and don't pick up neither. See, people get caught up in the addiction. See, they say, well, I ain't using drugs, but what else did you work on? You ain't worked on what caused you to pick up drugs in the first place. Something was going on with you to want to get high and continue to get high. So that's the main thing I focus on. When I came in treatment, I didn't focus on so much the drug. I'm going to be honest, I didn't. I focused on why can't I stop using drugs? What's keeping me from using drugs? Why do I let my fears come in because of what people do or make me feel like? I have to learn how to control my own feelings. I have to learn how to keep asking God to restore me to some sanity. Because I'm going to tell you something, when you smoking them drugs and drinking, you kind of lose your mind a little bit. You know, you kind of really do lose your mind and you start forgetting, you start acting out, you know. So I had to go through some changing, but he said we came to believe. We didn't always believe. We knew about the man. We knew about how it worked, but we didn't believe that it was possible for us. But honey, I tell you what, can't nobody tell me nothing is possible. Because God, I know for a fact, you know, see, my mother used to say this thing, walk by faith and not by sight. Because sight, you know, when we look at somebody doing good and happy, how many people have we seen on TV that's been doing real good and they put on this good picture and all of a sudden, guess what they did? All of a sudden they killed themselves. All of a sudden they died from an overdose. How many? See, the sight can fool you. The sight can fool you. But if you got a belief, if you got the faith the size of a mustard seed, it could take you many places. And I didn't used to have faith in nothing. I had faith in Renee, and Renee kept letting herself down over and over and over again until I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to some sanity. Well, what is sanity? You know what sanity is? Anytime you tell a person, my babies ain't got no food, my babies ain't got nothing to eat, can I get some money? And then I go and buy drugs. To me, that's a part of sanity. Can you tell me how one time I was drinking and getting high? I can understand ending up in the bed with one man, but it was two. That's some insanity mess. I mean, insanity things is, you know, like, yeah, you know, like when you get ready to drink, when you get ready, you know, we high, and I super glue my eye to go to work. That's insanity. Yeah, so my life has changed. Your life has changed too. I've seen some of y'all change. I've seen your life change. I've seen people change. Anybody is possible to change. You know, God is good. You know, we come to believe that a power. What is the power? Anything that's bigger than yourself, but it's God for me. I don't know what other people's use, but it's been God for me. For all these years, God has restored me, He's fixed me, He's molded me, and He's doing the same for y'all because I pray and ask God every night before I go to sleep for the ones that are still struggling, for the ones that just, you know, trying to find their way back. You know, they bouncing back. You got to get out of that rut, though. Because Satan like you staying down. He don't like he don't like how you can build yourself back up and find yourself again. You know, you got to find yourself because, see, it's so easy for us to lose ourselves. It's very easy for us to lose ourselves, especially in the world we living in today. It's very hard for us to lose ourselves. But see, I don't lose myself no more because I stay in the book. I practice my steps. Hey, Auntie Wanda. I practice my auntie on here, good supporter. My other cousin is on here. I know that God has a blessing for us. And mine was to find out how lost I was. He came to believe. When I came to believe, I gave up everything. When I knew it was possible and I knew it was a God and I knew He wanted me to do better, He needed to use me for His purpose. He needed for me to find out what that purpose was. He needed me to find out, Renee, is so much in you that you need to find. And I can only kind of help you and direct you, but you got to find it on your own. And I did. You got to find it on your own. You know, and it's a lot of things. And people say, well, how do you know God has restored you? Because I don't waking up thinking about using. I can go to bed without thinking about using. I ain't got to hold on to stuff that happened 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Oh yeah, we gonna think about the past little bitty things, but they say, how do you know God has restored you? Look at me. I know I got a key to the lock. I can come in my own house. You know, I ain't gotta go hunt for the dope man to find out where he put my car. I pawned my car. You know, I know he restored me because the couch I used to sit on, now I gotta sit on a crate because I done let the dope man came and got my living room set. See, insanity things. Like I said, y'all just don't know. Y'all think it's just a drug. No, it's the behavior that we put in ourselves to go get the drug. But I had to work on, what do I do when I stop using drugs? What is my purpose then? And I found out. Keeping honest, open-minded, and are willing to change. And so now I keep myself occupied. You know, I found a new way to live, man. My life is never busy. I don't care what nobody tell you. My life, my auntie came by today. I cooked a big dinner, which is every Sunday. And family members come by to eat. I've been doing that for years. And she said, Renee, how do you do it? How do you maintain? She just asked me, how do you maintain? I told her, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's the God in me. That's who it is. It's the God in me to forgive. It's the God in me to surrender. It's the God in me to love. It's the God in me to find the joy again. It's the God in me to learn the peace again. It's the God in me just to give. And that's what I continue to do because that's who I am. Not better than nobody. That's just something that I like to do for me. So I'm to a place now in my life to where I'm in a grateful mood. I'm in a grateful place because I know, and you know, if you go back and you look back over your life, of all the things God done brought you out of, all the things that you thought you wasn't going to make it, all the times when people tried to hurt you, but you came out being a winner, all the time when you was in that dark place and you didn't want nobody to know you was getting high. I said, but all the times that we took ourselves through some, through roller coaster moments, you ain't got to do that no more. All you got to do is don't use. And then on top of that, I'm telling you something, on top of that, it ain't just don't use. It's finding a new way to think, a new way to do things. It ain't so much about the drug, it's so much about you. It's your behavior, your attitude, and once you learn that, because see, my behavior what got me to go get the drug. And now that I'm off the drugs, people say, what do I do? Live. Tell me, what do I do? Live. A newcomer asked me yesterday, Renee, what do I do? I said, girl, you got to live. That was the whole purpose of getting clean. To find the better you. To find the reason why you supposed to be clean. No, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn why to be clean. So I had to find that. God restored me to some sanity so I can open my mind and get my head together so I can learn how not to do what I used to do when I was using. You know, and now for the loved ones or love for the people I care about, all I do is pray for them. Because you can't manage and control somebody else's destiny. You can't do that. So you just pray in silence, and that's God, and he'll turn it around before you know it. And you will say, God, I've been praying to you, and he just turned it around. To restore me to some sanity, and you think that I ain't grateful? I know where I've been, I know where I am, and I know where I'm not. And I am not using. I am not going back to that place. I don't even want to ever revisit that place. All I know, I want to thank that drug. I want to thank you. I hate this disease. I just want to thank you for allowing me to live after I got through doing the drugs and alcohol. To show, because somebody didn't make it. Some of us didn't make it. My friend just died. One of the guys I used to talk to, he just died yesterday. Some people ain't making. Some people just hard-headed. They keep playing Russian roulette, keep drinking and keep getting high, and then you go get sick, and then your health start falling, all because of the addiction, the choices that you make. The choices that you make can change your life. And I know that for a fact. So I come to tell you that anything is possible and everything is great, long as you believe. Believe in a power greater than you. I had to believe in somebody, and I'd rather believe in God, because he the one that opened the doors for me that was closed on me. He the one that restored me to some sanity. He the one, when I thought I was going to lose my house at one time, he said, no, just keep doing what you're doing. You got to trust and believe in a power greater than yourself. Just like we trusted the drugs, we trusted the alcohol, the pills, you know, just like that. But I found a new way to live, and I'm living it right. And I'm not using drugs. And I don't ever want drugs. I'm not using Renee no more. See, our best users was us. We learned how to use our own self. We learned how to beat up our own self. We learned how to defeat our own self. You have to come to a part that says to restore us to sanity. Now you tell me that who wouldn't want to serve a God like that? Who wouldn't want in their right mind to serve? And all that mess we've been through, all the stuff I went through, going to jail, selling drugs, all the stuff that I went through. And he took that old raggedy, ugly mind of mine and restored it to some sanity. And it felt like I was a new person. A new person. So I know I done changed, because I ain't even sitting in nobody's jail no more. I ain't stupid and doing the stuff I was doing no more. Every day is a good day. No matter what turns out in that day, it's still a good day, because I'm alive to deal with it. And it been some stuff too. It been some stuff in my life that I've had to share some tears. There's going to be some stuff in your life. But work your program. I heard one of my friend girls say, I'm trying to find my way back. I'm finding my way back. Baby, look, this to you. You will find your way back. If you give it everything you got and put the bull crap to the side and start being honest, you will come back. But if you're playing Russian roulette with your life and you think it can't happen to you, and God allow you to see what happened to your loved ones, to your friends, to your cousin, to your nephew, but you still think it can't happen to you, okay, keep thinking like that. Because any of us can leave this world at any given time. But if I do, if God decides to take me, know that it wasn't from drugs and alcohol. Know that it was the life I live because of my use of drugs and alcohol. Because of and so I don't want to just stop using. I wanted to live. I wanted to find out what is the reason, the big reason why I wanted to quit using. And it was because of me. And people think because you are using, that don't mean you stop using and then don't have a life. You got to have a life. You got to do things you ain't. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Matthew, Heritage, how you doing, honey? You got to have a life. You got to know that God is who he is. He is the protector. He is the person that's going to guide you. He is the person that's going to help you. He's the person you can talk to in the middle of the night, in the morning, in the evening. He's a person that you can take all your sorry, all your happiness, anything you want to talk to God about, he's there. He's never a person telling me, like some of my friends tell me, I don't want to hear that mess. You talking to your friend's girl, who she thinks she is, I don't want to hear all that. But that's what I love about God, because he'll listen to me all day if he have to. Can you imagine a person got to listen to all these different prayers? I was trying to find that movie with this guy. What was the name of this movie? And his son had wished that his daddy never lied no more. And Liar. Yeah, Liar. I love that movie. I can watch that movie. And he lied so much, so then when he asked God to take it back, he asked God to help everybody all over the world, and he could hear all the prayers. And I'm saying to myself, watching this movie, now what kind of God is that? That he can hear millions and millions of prayers all at the same time. What kind of God is that can hear thousands from this state, from that state, all over? And it was driving him crazy, but it didn't just drive him crazy. It drove me crazy watching him, showing him that God, so do you imagine how many prayers go to God every day? Every second of the moment, every minute of the moment, somebody is praying. Somebody is asking God for this. Somebody is wanting God to do this. But he still hears all. Now, what makes you think that I would leave a man like that? I ain't never doing that. The church is in me. God is my everything. And if you want what we have to offer you, and that's freedom from drugs and alcohol, you must learn to surrender. You must learn to surrender. This program really works when you work the program. Thank God for 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I thank God all the time. Say, God, you are so good, because you sent me to a program that was going to help me find everything out about me. You taught me, you gave me a program that was going to help me surrender to everything. Not just one thing, everything. And I did. And I do that now in my life. I've come a long ways, and so can you. And a many of y'all have came a long ways. A many of y'all have came a long way. Y'all just think I don't know, but I know. Hey, Miss Maddie, I know. I know Auntie Wanda. I know Selena. I know Cynthia Roberts. I know. Y'all done came. I watched you. All my other friends that came on here, I watched y'all. Y'all done came a long way. So y'all too know the man I'm talking about. Y'all too, my godmother. Shout out to my godmother. I pray she not feeling too good. But godmama, if you on here, I'm telling you, I love you. And I know she on here. I love you. She not feeling too good. But ask God to bless you and keep you. And thank you for the pictures that you did for me. I just thank God for every person that come into my life that mean me well. It's a blessing. Every person that mean me well is a blessing. Because I had so many people's phony in my life when I was using alcohol and drugs. Everybody was pretender. But I couldn't get mad. I was a pretender too. So how could I get mad? Because somebody else is pretending when I was pretending too. But when you ask God and believe that a power greater than yourself can restore, and he did a lot of restoring in a lot of us. Y'all know that. Because we had some habits that was off the chain. We did some things, if you go back. Have you ever just went back in your life and look and go back about 30 years or 20 years and see the bull crap we used to do? Man, we was something else. You know, I was the type of person that I thought every man that looked at me wanted me because I had the best coochie in the world. Did you hear what I said? I thought my coochie was so good that I can get any man that I wanted. That's that insane thinking. But I used it. And it worked for a minute. But then even that get old. Even that get old. Our dirty thinking because of the chemicals that we take. But I'm telling you, that's how I used to think. I used to walk in the bar high as a kite. And if any man that I wanted in there, my job was to get him. It didn't tell me if I was going to get AIDS. It didn't tell me if I was going to get herpes. It didn't tell me. The only thing the drug told me, I want that one right there. And I didn't want you if you didn't have on no Mary ring, if you didn't have on no ring. And that was, once I worked my program, I found out what that was. And like me and my sponsor said, it was a detachment that I was always used to, was a familiar place for me. So if you married, then that means me and you won't be attached too long. We just gonna use each other for our own purposes. And that's what it was. My sponsor was so right. Because I could act like I love you and then turn around and don't even know you. Act like you didn't mean nothing to me because I got what I wanted out of you. But then you can't feel bad because you got what you wanted from me. But that ain't the way God said we supposed to live. But when you're up under the drinking, when you're up under using and drinking, you know, we up under the mind of the enemy. We ain't in our right mind. And so when God restores us, then we in our right mind. Because he taking everything that was ugly away and restoring us with everything that's good. That's his whole point, restoring us to get us to another point in our lives. You know, don't stay where you used to be. That means you're still stuck. You got to get past. You got to get past the way you used to be. So I thank God for every chain. I thank every chain that he broken. I thank God for every road that I had to cross. I thank God for every bottom that we hit. I thank God for what we had to go through coming into a treatment. I thank God for the doors that was closed in our face. And we found a way to open them and keep them open and not let them get closed. I thank God for being our friend. Thank God for being our light when it seems so dark sometimes. I thank God for taking my worries and put them into a different place. I thank God for touching each and every last one of y'all that comes up on this site. Because see, God doing some things. And he going to work some things out. And some of y'all don't talk about it, but I can feel it and I know it. I ain't no psych person, but I got enough sense to knowing when God is telling me something now. It ain't, you know, I always tell you, I listen to this ear. I don't listen to that ear. Because Satan always was in this ear. But when he come in this ear, it's all sweet and beautiful. When it get in that ear, it's a whole different tone, and I don't like that tone. If I could just shave the ear off, I would just keep the one ear and be okay with it. But God gave me 2 ears, so, I learned how to manifest something that's good for me. When He restored me to something different. He restored to me to something great. And one thing that I love that He restored me for was forgiveness. He restored me for that one. Because see, that was my biggest thing, holding on to a thing that was hurting me, or somebody did something to me, or you did this to me. But God, when He restored me, He helped me to forgive quicker, not hold on to it, and don't let it, He just amazing, God. Some of the things that He do, He is the universe. He is everything. And I thank Him for not giving up on none of us, no matter what your addiction is. But in order to stop using drugs, you got to start to live. You can't sit around and just die or not have fun. Getting off of drugs don't mean that your life stops. It means it's just getting started. That's what it means. It means you're going to start doing some things that you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to start going out of town. You're going to start becoming or going back to school. You're going to start just doing some things. Somehow I'm in a place now where I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I like chilling sometimes. Because when I was using, I didn't chill. I just always was trying to find one more drink, one more hit. But I thank God. Do something nice for somebody today, y'all. I thank y'all for everybody who came up on here. I got on about 10 minutes late. And I thank y'all for being a part of my process. You hear me? Thank y'all for being a part of my process. I enjoy. Now, step 3 we on for next Sunday. And step 3 says, now, wait. Now, this one right here, y'all, hey, I can't wait till I get to this one. Because I got some stuff I was studying last night, writing this. It says, we made a decision to turn our will and lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Now, this one for me, opened doors. It made things start happening. So that's step 3. Y'all go ahead and study it if you got the big book or got the green and gold book. This step right here opened some doors for me, and it did some magnificent things in my life when I was at step 3. But all the steps is a part of Renee's life, because I love the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. Y'all be good. Have a safe. The week is over with. And now we're going into a new week. Have a safe week coming up. And do something nice for somebody today. And never, ever give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. Because that's all you have is yourself. And continue to pray for those who mistreat you or misuse you or don't show you love. God will send the right person to love you. Because he should be your number one love. Like mine. He is my number one love. And God bless you. Talk to y'all soon. See you next week. See you Friday at 8 o'clock. And I don't know what topic we'll talk about, but God, He'll give me something. And then Sunday, we on step 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our life over to the care of God as we understood Him. Good evening. Love y'all. God bless you. May God continue to bless each one who come up on this site. Touch them in a magnificent way. Let them know that they are loved. Let them know that you can do the impossible and change their life, change the way they think, how they feel. God, touch each and last one of them that came on this site, and the ones that's going to come on after I'm off, or the ones that'll come on late at night. Bless each and every last one that comes on this site. I'm asking you, my God, continue to bless them all. Amen. Talk to y'all soon.